Ever wondered what separates a great football training session from just another kickabout? Whether you're coaching kids, amateurs, semi-pros, or pro footballers, the way you design a session can make or break your team's development. Without further ado, let's dive into how to design a proper football training session, step by step. Step 1. Starting the session design. Your session design should begin with having a clear objective. But you need to ask yourself questions to do that. For example, questions like, what do you want to achieve with the session? Is it ball control? Defensive shape? Transition play? Choose one or two key focuses. Quality beats quantity. Once you've set a topic, build your session around that purpose. Other questions you might consider are: what age category would you be working with? This should guide the type of activity you choose and the intensity when planning the session. What training equipment do you have at your disposal? Cones, agility ladders, mannequins, agility rings. Type of pitch. This should all reflect in the planning of your session. How long do you have for training your players on the pitch? This is a great question to consider, especially in places where facilities are at a premium and have to be leased or rented. A huge part of efficiency is making your session plan reflect how long each activity should last. There are so many questions you might consider as you plan your session, but these few examples should get you going. Some additional concerns you may consider as you begin your session planning are: 1. Number of players you will be working with. If you coach in a team where the numbers are usually unpredictable, use an average. It may also help to plan your session in a way that it works no matter the numbers that turn up. If the numbers are higher, think of using extra players as neutrals. If player numbers are lower, think of adapting the activity to fit the available players. Also, it helps to include your assistant coaches into your planning if you have them. Delegating parts of the session for them to deliver will make for a greater experience for everyone involved. This also means they need to understand the session and have their own copy beforehand. Getting a sense of what weather conditions would be like can help you better match your activities to fit. Planning a high-intensity session on a day where the sun is highest for your 7-year-olds might just be a disaster waiting to unfold. What type of pitch is available to you? Grass, sand, AstroTurf. Would the players be able to carry out the task efficiently on the surface? Or is the surface ideal as a constraint for what you hope to achieve? Think and lay out the complete picture through your design. You can design your session to be a fit for the day, after considering what you seek to achieve. For instance, if it is the day after a match and you use a tapering method, you probably would choose to have a recovery type session for most of the players who took part and a more intensive activity for others who did not play or get much playing time. You could also design your session based on the day's theme, e.g., a holiday fun session. Lastly, consider the unique cultural reality of your environment and your position. Is there an existing methodology you have to follow? Do your players enjoy certain activities more than others? Does the team play better a certain way than others? Remember, a team ultimately plays how they train. Step 2. Part of the session. Excluding the session introduction and feedback segment, a great session usually has 3 key parts. 1. Warm-up. Here the focus is on activation of muscles and the body. Types of exercises include light jogging, dynamic stretches which incorporates movement, or basic ball work to get the body and mind ready. Dynamic stretches is recommended for this phase rather than static stretches which involve limited full body movement. 2. Main activities. This involves technical and tactical activities. During the technical phase, the focus on individual skills like passing, dribbling, or shooting, etc. Tactical exercises, on the other hand, simulate real match scenarios. Think 4 versus 4, overloads, group or unit pressing or attacking activities. This is where learning becomes instinct and translates to the match day. 3. Cool down. Think gentle movements, static stretching which help alleviate soreness and cramping. Session feedback can also be delivered during this period to gauge understanding and reinforce lessons. Step 3. Structure the session. Now put it all together. Structure your session like a story, with a beginning, middle, and end. You can structure your session in 2 ways. Duration. Method. If you plan to structure based on duration, here's a sample 90-minute session type. 0 to 15 minutes, introduction and warm-up. 15 to 35 minutes, technical drills. 35 to 70 minutes, tactical/small-sided games. 70 to 90 minutes, cool-down and feedback session. Pro tip: balance intensity and rest. Keep transitions smooth and avoid wasting time between activities. However, if you plan to structure your session based on method, there are 4 common structures to choose from. Number 1. Part method. This method employs an approach where a specific skill is broken down into separate sequential steps for players to carry out, and then gradually, the activity progresses into a small-sided game by the end of the session. An example is making players do specific feinting movement without the ball at the start of the session when learning dribbling. Incorporating a ball after players have shown satisfactory competency, and then afterwards adding partial or full opposition. The session then concludes with a small-sided or 2-sided game with players still aiming to carry out the skill they learnt, in this case, dribbling. This method is more suited for beginners and foundation-level players. Number 2. Progressive part method or up the steps. Still using the skill from the previous method, when adopting the progressive part method, the skill is not broken down to its core as in the part method. Instead, you can start with, say, having a player practice dribbling a cone using step-overs or a snake-bite skill. Afterwards, partial or full opposition is introduced for the next segment of the session. Like the previous method, the progressive part method also concludes with a 2-sided game and then cool down. This method can be used with any level of players as long as the delivery is top-notch. Number 3. Carousel method. This approach offers a lot of variety and provides a fun, yet challenging training experience for players. Though it is best used when there are assistant coaches at your disposal, it is possible for one coach to manage, so far player numbers are manageable or the players are experienced. To begin, after the warm-up phase, players are divided and assigned to different stations on the pitch where they are to carry out different board game-related skills. It could be dribbling at point A, passing at point B, shooting at C and C, receiving at point D. Players carry out these actions for some minutes and then rotate to the next station until everyone has completed minutes at each station. Afterwards, the entire group combine for a 2-sided game to round up the main activities for the day. Number 4. Whole part whole method. As the name suggests, training starts with the whole group having a 2-sided game but with an objective or condition, for instance, giving a rule that the team in possession must complete a successful take-on before they can score. In the next phase, the players are divided into smaller groups where they practice different types of dribbling skills or whatever the objective of the day is. The group come together again for a 2-sided game in the final phase with a condition similar to the first segment. However, the coach can opt to tweak things and place higher points for specific actions or skill use, e.g. successful use of a snake bite before scoring makes a brace. Step 4. Additional tips for success. Do you want to take your sessions to the next level? Here are a few bonus tips. Be observant. Pick a great spot and try to see as much as you can during your sessions. This can help you know what to add or subtract from future sessions. Use realistic content. Think of the whole game and work back from there to create your sessions. Ensure they are relevant to your players and offers them lots of repetition. Be flexible. If something's not working from your session plan, adapt on the pitch. Keep session goals. Ensure to avoid cramming too much content into your session so you don't lose the objective. Remember, you cannot coach everything in one session. Time management. On-pitch time management starts with appropriate time allocation on your session plans. Failure to plan is planning to fail. Feedback. Ensure to keep interventions sharp but short. Though there are exceptions, more often than not, brevity serves your players better. Great players are made in great sessions. Now it's your turn to design one. Remember, there are no poor players, only incompetent coaching. Let's grow the game, one session at a time. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your coaching network.